What's up, y'all? Hope you guys are having a beautiful day, beautiful morning. As y'all can see, the weather here in the Bay Area, not so great, man. It's the middle of the summer, and we're getting temperatures of like 60 degrees, like 65 degrees, cloudy, super foggy. You know, not the best weather, but can't complain. You know, I'd rather be in this than be in the heat. But yeah, man, I've done a bunch of work to the car again. As I told you guys in the last video, I installed the MGW short shifter, and man, this thing is probably the best shifter I have ever tried on this car. I went from a B&M short shifter when I first got the car. It was already in the car, and then I got the I got some jank shifter that I got with this transmission. When I got this transmission, it was like a Hurst style shifter. It didn't have any like branding on it, so I'm not exactly sure what it was, but that thing was super notchy. It was like super short throws, so the only way I was able to use that was with a really long handle, because anything shorter than like the OEM height, it'd be super hard to shift, man. And then after the that shifter, I got a Pro 5.0 shifter. That shifter was nice, but the only thing I didn't like about that shifter was the stock handle. The stock handle was super short. It just made the reach super long. Like I said before, I'm not the shortest person, but I'm also not the tallest person, and I don't have the shortest arms. So with the Pro 5.0 shifter with the stock handle, it would be kind of a reach to get into third and fifth gear. So I didn't really have any bad things to say about the Pro 5.0 shifter besides its notchiness compared to this MGW shifter, which I didn't notice before I tried this shifter. Compared to this, the MGW is so much smoother. Like even like in neutral, like during the neutral wiggle, it's just so much smoother. It feels more quality. So yeah, man, I haven't really done any wide open throttle pulls or any hard pulls with the shifter yet, but just driving around town, you can feel a difference. It's not super notchy, but the throws are super short. I would say this has the same throw as the Pro 5.0 shifter. It's just much more of a smoother, more solid shift, if that makes sense. I'm super happy with this. Hopefully, you know, it makes shifting from second to third a lot easier. That's the biggest issue I've had with this TR3650, any TR30, even my old TR3650 that I blew up. That transmission did not want to go into third gear sometimes. Kind of don't like that it's blue. When I ordered it, I thought I was getting the yellow one or like the gold colored one, and that's the one I really wanted. But I guess they revised it this year or last year, and now it's blue. So also I installed some lower control arms for the rear. Excuse the garbage, man. I don't know who's been parking here. They just leave a bunch of garbage. I installed some J&M lower control arms, and this is back with the Eibach springs because I had cut springs on this before, so I threw the Eibach springs back on it with these lower control arms. I don't know if you can see them, but they have that perch. They have like a spring perch, so you could adjust ride height, and this is the lowest that it goes, and honestly that's probably like less than 2 fingers, so I'm pretty happy with that. All right, so another thing I did to the car, I kind of showed it last video, but I just now realized that on my last video I cut out the part where I showed it as the rear view camera. So it's super simple to install, man. On that kick panel, you take that kick panel out, and on the first, there's 3 connectors that go to the dash. On the first connector, there's a pink and black wire, and you splice in your remote wire from your head unit that activates the reverse function onto that pink and black wire. And here, let me show you. Go into reverse, and as you can see, I mean, obviously you can't see anything because there's a wall behind me, but it works, and you know, it does what you'd expect. It just gives you a rear view. So you run that remote wire to that black and pink wire, and then let me show you where I mounted the camera. So I mounted the camera here where the key goes, because I didn't really use the key there anyway. And there's a rivet inside. Here, let me show you. So there's a rivet in there that you just gotta drill out, and then the whole lock cylinder assembly just pops out. And then I just ran my RCA wires from the camera through the stock harness, and then you put on your your 12-volt wire to that same black and pink wire. I don't know if y'all can see that, but it's that same black and pink wire that goes to the tail light. So that gives you the remote signal for the 12 volts on the camera itself. And yeah, man, looks pretty cool, you know, works like it should, and I've had no problems with it. So yeah, man, that's pretty much all I've done to the car this past week. New shifter, the J&M control arms, and the reverse camera I had done like a few weeks ago too, but you know, just wanted to go over it for some of you guys that have questions. It's super simple to install. You run the RCA wires from the camera to the head unit, ran it through there, took out that panel and ran it through there, and then up to the trunk and then to the camera. You get a good amount of wire. It's like a $20 camera on Amazon. You know, it's not expensive to do. You just gotta have a head unit that supports it. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go take it out for a little drive and just get some, you know, just some driving footage. I don't know if I explained it right, but the springs that were on this car before I did the arms were some cut stock springs, and so now I have my Eibach back on there. They're the Eibach Sportline springs, and the ride quality is crazy, man. Ignore these vents. These vents are making so much noise, man. I'm so fed up with it. I'm probably gonna take them out and like try to like put like tape on it or something so it stops vibrating so much, but you know, it's so annoying, man. But yeah, since I put my Eibach back in, the ride quality is insane. The ride quality is so much better with the Eibach than it was with the cut springs. Like, I did not even notice it. Like, I did not even notice it when I first put in the cut springs. I think I just wanted to tell myself that the ride quality wasn't so bad, but it really wasn't the most pleasant experience, man. Yeah, so now taking bumps with this car is like so much nicer. There's less rebound. That's mainly what I'm noticing, is there's less rebound when I hit bumps. Before, when I hit a bump with the cut springs, it would like kind of like do this action. With the Eibach, it just kind of like boom, you know, like one big bump, boom, not balanced. That could also be because I replaced the control arms. Like I said, it could just be the control arms that were making it bounce like that, but it's so much nicer to drive now. It feels like a completely different car, honestly. Man, they're bugging the hell out of me, man. Damn, man, I went the wrong way for sure, dude. Look at this traffic. I went the wrong way, man. There's a bunch of traffic over here. God damn it. These roads are awful, dude. This whole way was all bad. Terrible roads, man. Where are my taxis going to? Should've gone that way. Yeah, should've gone that way. I fucked up. Oh, go this way. God damn, brother. Wasn't expected. Adjusted my clutch and I do not like how the pedal feels right now. I'm probably gonna adjust it back to how it was. I don't know, I just thought it needed some adjustment. I guess it didn't. Why is this guy going so slow, buddy? I guess traffic is stopped, huh? The car definitely feels so much better. The new arms did so much for the car, dude. When I Took out the old arms, the bushings were shot, bro. Should have done this way sooner, honestly. Way sooner. Yeah, that's pretty much gonna be the end of this video, man. And like I said last video, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, please do so. Every install that I do on this car, when I install a new part, anything that I modify on this car, I usually post on my Instagram. I don't really like to film install videos. I feel like, I don't know, I'm just so focused on installing and getting it done, especially because I live in a complex. Here, they're not really okay with me working on my car. They're just kind of like letting it slide. But if I'm under the car for too long, they'll come and say something and they'll start making a big fuss. So when I'm installing parts here, I usually just want to get in and out and install whatever I have to install, you know, quickly. Within, like, I would say I always try to get my stuff done within like 4 hours, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm doing something big, then obviously it's gonna take a little longer, but you know, they kind of let it slide for the most part. But I also don't want to be here for days, you know, just installing something simple. So that's pretty much why I don't really do install videos. You know, the main thing I want to bring to the channel is just POV drives for the most part. I really enjoy making these videos. Thank you for all you guys' support. I greatly appreciate it. We're at 485 subscribers, almost hitting 500, and that's just a blessing for me, man. You guys are the best. What's next for the car? I have no idea. Financially, you know, a little low right now, man. I kind of overspent these last couple of months, but money comes and goes, and for sure, big things next. I do want to get my valve seals redone because my valve seals are leaking a bit in this car. Ever since I put the motor in, valve seals were leaking a little bit, but now it's only getting worse. I did a compression test and the compression is fine, so that doesn't really tell me that it's rings. Plus it doesn't smoke all the time. It only smokes when I'm stopped idling for like at least a minute, or like, you know, for a good while. You know, usually when I stop at a stop sign, wait a couple minutes and then take off, the first takeoff, like the first rev that I do, it blows a little bit of smoke. And on red lights too, like when I'm sitting in a red light for too long, you know, I hit the gas, it puffs out a little bit of smoke. So all those are indicators of bad valve seals, and I'm gonna do those. And while I'm in there, I'm planning on doing cams, so this thing is gonna be chopping. I'll make a whole video on, you know, the exhaust sound and stuff. That's probably not gonna happen for maybe a few more weeks, or maybe like a month or so, but we'll see. For now, yeah, man, the car feels great. It has new control arms in the back. I haven't done the uppers. I will do those soon because the uppers, if the lower arms were damaged, I imagine the uppers are also just as bad. Yeah, man, I'm excited for what the future brings, and I'm gonna continue doing these videos. I'm having a lot of fun doing these videos, and all your kind words, man, they are all appreciated, and it just makes me, you know, like I said, it makes me feel good inside, and you know, it's the best feeling, bro. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have a blessed rest of your day. Peace.